Now, what is a life coach? What is a life coach's purpose? Do a Google search and see some of the very vague and very ambiguous definitions that are out there. The purpose of a life coach is to empower and transform people's lives. My goodness, that sounds really hard. How do I transform another person's life? What happens if that person doesn't want to transform their life? What happens if that person just wants to remain the same or just wants to feel better about their current life circumstances? Because many people do. All right, how do I change another person's life? I can't change my wife's life. I can't change my family's attitude towards life. The only person whose life I can change or take responsibility for is my own, and the same is true for you. All right, now you might be asking the question, Kane, why are you not really moving beyond this? Because there are many life coaching and generic coaching ideologies out there that propose something very, very different. All right. I want to state here, these are the outcomes that you'll want to bear in mind. I've proposed that unless life coaching is equipping people to grow in maturity, responsibility, character, decisiveness, consistency, strength, you're not coaching a person, all right? So I want to propose these as being your goals, right? Your coaches will come to you with their goals, but within the context of a coaching relationship, let these be your goals, all right? Awareness. Your degree of self-awareness will determine the degree to which you grow and develop. You can only grow in an area of your life that you're aware that you need to grow in. All right, we all have blind sides, we all have blind spots. So self-awareness is the starting point of all personal growth. But, if you want to be an effective coach, you're talking about being effective socially, being effective relationally. If you are not aware of yourself, you're not going to be aware of your habits, you're not going to be aware of your prejudices, of your biases, of your attitudes, of your outlooks, of your worldviews, because most people go through life assuming that how they see things is just how things are, right? Assuming that their perception, that their ideology, their worldviews are all the right worldviews, all right? Hence the reason that coaching is a dialogue. It's not a debate, it's not a diatribe, it's not a monologue, although some people will life coach in monologue and tell people how they need to live. A dialogue is where two people exchange with each other. I will exchange with you, and you will exchange with me, and I will listen to you, and I will respond to you, and you will listen to me, and you will respond to me. It becomes a two-way, responsible relationship. Two people completely responsible for managing themselves within the interaction. But not all people dialogue. Not all people ever learn to dialogue. I was challenged in this area by a great man and mentor of mine for many years, a guy called Gerard Egan. Gerard Egan was the author of The Skilled Helper. He challenged me in dialogue. I thought I'd been dialoguing for years, not realizing that my default communication style was monologue. Monologue is talking at people. Dialogue is communicating with people. Big difference. So here's the thing, you're not going to be able to dialogue effectively, and you're never going to be able to influence people positively if you are not aware of yourself and your own prejudices and tendencies and biases. So self-awareness precedes all personal growth. So this has to be one of your main priorities as a coach, to help people grow in awareness. And we do this by reflecting back sometimes what we see in people. If we see attitudes, if we see resistance, if we see whatever we see, we feed it back. Aware of how we govern our lives and direct our outcomes. We're all living our lives in a certain way, and we're all pursuing our goals in the way in which we think our goals need to be pursued. The only problem is that sometimes we pick up ineffective strategies along the way. It's our humility, our degree of humility and willingness to even entertain the idea that we might not have all the answers is what opens us up to considering new possibilities. This is where awareness comes in. I'm aware that I'm not as effective as what I perhaps want to be in this area of my life or that area of my life, and therefore I have some room for growth. All right. Now, the way that I'm communicating here is with you, because I want to get you thinking and reflecting upon yourself here. right? This has to be a self-awareness development process for you, because if it's not, then you cannot transfer this over onto your coaches eventually. So awareness, first and foremost. There's kind of like a 4-stage process of development in life, right? There's 4 areas in which we can grow. We grow in self-awareness, we grow in self-knowledge, and self-understanding, we grow in social awareness, and then we grow in social influence. If we are not socially aware, then we cannot influence people positively. If we have no self-knowledge, then we cannot impart this knowledge onto others. If we aren't aware of ourselves, we're going to be completely oblivious to how other people are receiving us or responding to us. So all 4 completely roll into one. Decisiveness. Life is about making decisions, all right? You are here right now because you've made a decision. You might be ready to turn off because you've made a decision. Your decision might be based on substance, it might be based on facts, perhaps your emotions based on emotions, perhaps your decision is based on prejudice or bias. You might not like my shirt, you might not like my accent, but either way you're going to be having a response to this course, all right? We're all making decisions every single day. Some of us are making decisions without realizing we're making decisions, right? Some people will claim that the circumstances they face in life, they played no part in generating. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we can find ourselves in the midst of life circumstances that are completely outside of our control. For example, a war zone. Think about Ukraine when the Russian army invaded Ukraine. That circumstance is outside of the Ukrainian people's control. So there's externally governed circumstances, and then there's internally governed circumstances. A lot of people, for example, will say that they have no control over what they think or over how they feel. They have no control over the kind of relationships or the quality of relationships they have with other people. But that couldn't be further from the truth, all right? It's just that people are unaware of how it is that their attitudes and outlooks and beliefs and behaviours either draw people to them or repel people away from them. All right, it's a hard life truth, but it's true nonetheless. So life is a constant process of deciding what we're going to do next. Our role as life coaches is to help people understand the spectrum of options that they have available to them and then simply choose wisely. All right, it's not like there's an abundance of positive, mature role models out there in the world today. There's a lot of wannabe gurus, and there's a lot of superstars, there's a lot of academics, but not too many men or women who are responsible, integral, values-driven role models, which I guess gives you a pretty big opportunity. Consistency. Consistency is a quality of behaviour which doesn't vary greatly over time. All right, think about the kind of people that you would tend to trust. Now, I want to tie this idea in with what we talked about in that last clip. The beginning of the coaching relationship has got to start with trust. If there's no trust, there can be no progression. Right? So I need you to really think about, how other people might experience those outcomes in you. Would other people find you as being an aware person? Would they find you as being a decisive person? Or are you a procrastinator? Are you an indecisive person? Are you consistent? Are you emotionally balanced? Are you emotionally consistent? Are you typically the same person with all people that you meet? Or does your character change? Are you a different kind of person around different kinds of people? Because that's inconsistent. All right. So I'm provoking you to look at yourself here. Reason being is because if you don't look at yourself and you don't develop awareness within yourself in these areas, then you're typically setting yourself up not to be trusted by others. Why? Because if a person comes to you for life coaching and sees that you are not self-aware or socially aware, they're not going to come back for that second session. If a person sees that you're undecisive, then you're untrustworthy, you're unreliable. Again, inconsistent. How many inconsistent people do you trust in life? Very, very practical, isn't it? Character. As coaches, if we are able to provoke people to look at their character, which includes maturity, responsibility, integrity, perseverance, integrity. All right? How integral are you? What's your tendency to persevere when things get tough? Do you kind of fold and lie down and accept defeat when you don't get things within your preferred time frame? Or do you have a tendency to work hard and persevere until you've generated the kind of outcomes that you need to generate, right? How many people have you known over the years to say, my life is in a mess and I can't change, my circumstances can't change, I can't do anything about this? Well, there's an ideology towards this whole attitude people take towards life, I can't. There's no such thing as can't. There's just I will or I won't, or I will learn or I won't learn. I will figure it out or I won't figure it out. And that's going to be determined by a person's degree of perseverance in life and their degree of responsibility. All right, think about your life. Let's just call your life a problem. I'm not saying you're a problem person. I'm just saying you've probably got a problem in some area of your life. All right, this problem that you have, whatever it is, right, you're either going to own this problem and you're going to persevere until this problem's resolved, or you're not. All right, you can say I can or I can't, but the second you say I will or I won't, you're not taking responsibility. Can or can't, if you can solve your own problem, that's great. But when you say I can't solve my own problems, that's because you haven't yet taken responsibility for persevering until your problems are resolved. So I'm here not just to offer you a coaching methodology. I'm here to really get inside of your mind. All right? Because we're dealing with human beings here, all of whom have a mind, all of whom have a different way of looking at life. Some of whom think that they can, some of whom think that they can't, some of whom have already decided that they will, and some of whom have already decided that they will not. And it's this attitude that will determine the degree of progression that a coachee will make in life. Right? Remember, it's not your responsibility to determine whether they have decided that they can, can't, will, or will not. Right? But you do need to establish what decision they've made as early on as possible. Because if your coachee has decided that they will not solve their problem and that they can't, and they're not even willing to learn how, then the more time that you spend with them trying to coach them, the greater the chance and the greater the risk you face of being called an ineffective coach. So their attitude is just as important in their life coaching relationship as your understanding of a practical coaching methodology. Make sense? Progress. Outcomes speak louder than inspirational words and promises. I can stand here right now, all right, and there are many people who do on the life coaching stage and say, yes, this course will transform your life. I'm a transformative life coach. I can transform your life. And if I was to say these things, I would be lying. And anyone who does proclaim these things is also lying. And have a look on YouTube. Have a look on Google. There are many people out there proclaiming to be the kind of men and women who can transform people's lives. And it's a sales-based and sales-driven smokescreen. All right, coaching is not about transforming people's lives. It's about, first and foremost, establishing how much responsibility a person is willing to take for their life, for their circumstances, and then decide with this other person what action steps they're willing to take to progress and move forward and resolve. The outcomes of effective life coaching. All right, these are the outcomes of effective life coaching. Your responsibility kind of ends here. All right, so long as you are supporting a person in the process of becoming more aware of themselves and perhaps challenging their mindset in the way that I might just have challenged yours, to make wiser, more well-informed decisions consistently, to grow in character, to become more mature, to become more responsible for themselves, to become more integral and persevere sometimes, even when things get tough, then you're going to be the kind of coach that can help people and support people in progressing their lives and moving their lives forward. All right, getting away from their current day reality and reaching their ideal self-concept, whatever that means, and managing the transition in between.